When I think about my being productive, yeah, what makes me productive are the people that work with me. When I get an idea, the next thing I'm thinking about is who's going to help me to do it. I shoot an email, a whole project is executed. Okay? So, leadership is a big deal. And it's amazing that sometimes we don't trace our lack of productivity to that. There was a manager who was not achieving his targets. And he was very unhappy. He got his team together, and was trying to use an illustration from sports. I said, look, you guys, you better do whatever it is you have to do so that this team is winning again. If you don't, you'll be fired one by one. Okay? If a team is not performing, you have to fire someone. Who is it? And all the players chorused, the coach. Okay? It's amazing how, we don't want to accept responsibility for what's going on. But if you are a leader, if you're a supervisor, if you're a manager, the point is your leadership skills will determine how productive your team is. You have to empower the team to be productive. You've got to give them the tools that will make it possible. You've got to help them to reduce the amount of time that they spend. You've got to invest in their ability to cultivate skills, better skills, to get their job done. Okay? That's what leadership is. You've got to set targets for them. You've got to challenge them to achieve the targets. Okay? So, leadership skills. Now let's take this at a national level. What makes the difference between the productivity level of one country and the other? It's the productivity of the citizens. And it's the responsibility of leadership to help people be productive. I'll tell you one thing is important. The level of skills. People cannot create when they've not learned how to create. The educational system is critical. Healthcare is critical because people that don't have good health cannot be productive in their work. The basic infrastructure need to be there. The roads need to be there. Power supply needs to be there. Okay? The hospitals need to be there to take care of their health. Then citizens can be productive. Gratefully, God has given everybody time in equal measure. Everybody is rich, time rich to the same level. Okay? But you want to make sure that that time is not being wasted. Not being wasted to illness, not being wasted to time spent in traffic unnecessarily. Okay? Not being wasted to time, the time it will take maybe to secure funding or to secure some document or approval that is required for them to achieve their goals. That is leadership. Now, talking about us as leaders, I want to say that as a leader, if you want to be more productive, you've got to be incredibly organized. You've got to establish order around your life. Where there is clutter, okay? Where there is clutter, where you don't know where what is, it's going to be a big time waster. If you don't organize, like a wise person said, you will agonize. Okay? My mentor told me many years ago, he said, where there is order, there will be increase. Now let's say that increase is the productivity we're talking about. Where there is order, there will be increase. He said if you take your bag, your travel bag, and you throw your clothes in there without folding them, he said your bag will take fewer clothes than it would take if you neatly folded each piece of cloth and put them in the bag. I'll never forget that, because he was actually telling me about the report, the half-year report for the whole of their organization. It's a huge organization. And he was telling me, look, this is July. I have the January to June report for the whole system on my desk right now. That's how we do it. Everything is structured. Everything is organized. We know what is where. We know what we achieved. We know what is left. Then he gave me that illustration. Order makes for increase. Where there is order, there will be increase. I thought, wow. I mean, these are principles that are not far-fetched. Again, just look at different organizations and look at different nations. The nations where there is no order, the nations where people don't obey traffic laws, the nations where people don't stay on a queue, the nations where you have disorder, they are some of the poorest in our world right now. It's just the way it works. Okay? So you can start at an individual level. Make sure you are organized. Keep your table organized. Keep your office organized. Keep your documents organized. Organize. 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 Okay? And at a leadership level, then you want to be sure that your team is properly organized, that people know who is doing what at what time, okay? They know where to do it. They know the tools that have been provided to do it. That requires a lot of documenting to be productive, the use of time, okay? Sometimes you just need to turn off this TV, okay? Just turn it off. It's amazing that sometimes I scroll through the channels and I don't find anything that is interesting for me to watch. Then turn it off, okay? And invest the time in something else that is more productive. I should say this candidly, especially when you are an employee, what you do outside of your work hours will probably impact more on your progress than what you do during work hours. And this is what I mean. During work hours, much of what you do is routine. It's the routine job. Outside of work hours, that's when you have the time to read a book. That's when you have the time to listen to a podcast. That's when you have the time to watch a video. Now, those things that you are reading, that are taking you outside of the scope of what you know now, those are the things creating progress for you. Okay? Your routine job will keep you where you are and make sure you don't lose your job, maybe. But extra knowledge, extra skill that you add outside of the work hours, those are the things that make you special on the job. Those are the things that help you to achieve unusual results. I remember, many years ago, when I cultivated this habit of reading, I had my first opportunity, to address a group. Everybody was shocked. Why? Because I had just read a book, from a very successful person. And when I was reading the book, it was like my heart was burning, because there was so much wisdom packed into the book. Oh, books can be so powerful. Information is transformation. I'm telling you, information is the baseline for transformation. I was literally changing. My heart was expanding. So when I had the opportunity to speak, then I was saying things at that level that I got from this highly successful person. And people were shocked. It was like, wow. And sincerely speaking, my promotion, my rise was very fast in that organization. I was reading at CEO level. I remember when I would walk up to my boss and make suggestions about some of our operations, because I was reading things outside of the scope of my own job. I practically just wanted to help the CEO of the organization to do his job, period. So I was reading things that would be useful for him at his level. With that, I was seeing things from his level, and I was getting ideas. The first time I went to him, he was surprised. I gave him some sound ideas. He said, don't worry, we're going to tweak things sometime later. Not long from then, I went back again, gave him some more ideas. He took it in. The third time I went, he said, you know what, can you help me to document these things you're saying? Can you document these things you're saying? You know, and I did. Of course, sometimes, yes, when an organization is large, people expect the leader to just change things like that, but it's not that easy to change. Not that easy to change. It takes a lot more time to turn a truck than it takes to turn a small saloon car. So when the organization is small, it's easy to change things. When it's large, sometimes you have to take a lot of things into consideration. So my boss did not change things radically on the immediate, but something happened somewhere along the line. The opportunity came. He just changed almost everything. And to my surprise, almost all of those areas that I had highlighted to him and given him suggestions on, he put all of them under me. It was amazing. It was a huge promotion for me. He was conscious of those ideas that I had given him. Now I had the opportunity to execute. So what am I saying? When we say save time from watching the TV, save time from being on the internet or on social media, save time. The big question is, what should you do with the time? Upgrade your thinking, upgrade your skills. And remember, they say, it's a Chinese proverb, that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. In other words, when we're ready for our opportunities, the opportunities will show up. Sometimes we pray for opportunities, but we're not ready for those opportunities. And if they show up, they'll be wasted. What we should rather do is to invest our time preparing for those opportunities. And that's why I'll say this. There is no limit to which you should develop your skills, your competencies, and your capacity. No limit. There is no degree to which you will do excellence that you will not find someone willing to pay you for it. Yeah, you will find someone that has the capacity to pay for it. So you just keep developing. That's what we should do with a lot of the time. Just keep developing, improving your skills. You want to be more productive. You want your results to be radically different. What you do outside of your time, outside of your work, what you do with the time outside of your work matters a lot. Try and save as much time as you can. Now remember, so that I can provide a balance, you need good sleep. You need to relax. You need recreation, okay? You need to spend time with your family, okay? But don't spend all the time on the things that actually are not moving you forward. Carve out the time to read, to study, to learn, to practice. Some people actually take on courses, educational courses, academic courses, which they push outside of the time for work. The thing is, you complete the program, you gain new competencies, you get new opportunities, okay, new doors to open for you. So, dear viewer, I am absolutely convinced that you and I have come into a new season of productivity, that our results are about to be multiplied many times over. I believe with increased capacity to achieve results will come promotion, rapid promotion. Remember, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. New opportunities are showing up for you now like you've never had before.